Hello everyone and welcome to Girlfriend Simulator. This is a game that I found on itch.io. I thought I should make something since it's around Valentine's Day, and with a title such as this, it seemed fitting for a Valentine's Day video. I believe there are horror elements in this game, just as a advisor, or just an advisory, so just thought I'd let you guys know. And I'm actually I'm completely blind to this. I haven't seen any gameplay. I've just seen the page on itch.io with some screenshots, but besides that, I'm going this completely blind. So without further ado, let's get started. And I'm not sure, there might be multiple endings to this game. If there is, I will come back and I will do the other ones if that is how they did it. Okay, so let's get started. Girlfriend Simulator, start. The pain, when it hits me, is intense. It comes on so suddenly I feel like I'm going to be sick. It hurts more than I thought it would. It hurts more than I can endure. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. But then a miracle happens. My vision turns white. My lungs spasm in one last desperate gasp. And then there's nothing. I'm finally free. I thought it would be scary, which is why I trembled so much, but I think I'm getting used to it now. It's not that bad, really, non-existing. There are worse things you can do than disappear. Moo? Hey, Ayumu? Can you hear me? Please, tell me you can hear me. Wake up! You have to wake up. Don't do this to me. Ayumu? It sounds like somebody's calling out to me. I can hear a voice, high and anxious, cleaving through my comfortable, cozy state of non-existence. My head is starting to hurt again. What's going on? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name right. I open my eyes slowly, groggily, and glance upwards. There's somebody standing by my bedside. Somebody I don't know. She has long, fair hair tied into a ponytail, and she's wearing clothes which I suppose are fairly fashionable. As far as appearances go, she's quite cute, and it doesn't hurt that her face is so sweet either. Her eyes are very wide, her iris is indigo, and her nose is small and snub. Her lips are pale pink like cherry blossoms, and they're parted in what I suppose is concern. Her skin is white like milk, or like snow, and her fingers are slender. She's slender in general. Really, so much so, it looks like a gust of wind could blow her away. She's so pristine in her ruffled blouse and her high-waisted skirt, she hardly looks human. Her facial features are all too perfectly arranged. I can't see a single blemish on her skin. She's almost too pretty. What was a girl like this doing in my apartment? I feel dazed, and the girl's breathy exclamation of relief when I open my eyes does little to reassure me this isn't a dream. Oh, thank goodness, I'm so glad you're finally awake. You were out for hours. I think about how to pronounce his name. Ayumu? You're out for hours, Ayumu. I was so worried. I don't know her name, but she seems to know mine. Are we friends, then? We must be more than acquaintances, given the familiar way she's talking to me. I don't remember having any friends like her, though. I don't remember having any friends at all. Wasn't that why +5 on ease. Oh, on the top left. On ease, 5%. No, I'd better not think about that. My head is starting to hurt again. I'm sorry, but... oh, no, sorry. Getting the names mixed up. I'm sorry, but this is all kind of a lot. What's going on? Oh, you poor thing. You really must be sick if you have to ask that. I'm sick? You are, yes. You're very, very sick. Your temperature was almost 38 degrees when I last checked. You were passed out when I came here, and that was, I'd say it was about 2 hours ago. I kept myself busy since then, cleaning this place up, but I was very worried about you. I'm glad that you decided to call me this morning. I'd hate to think of you suffering on your own. You were so hot, I was even thinking I might have to call the hospital. The hospital? I blinked, trying to disperse the white, hazy spots which are flickering in front of my vision. My apartment is shifting, and so is this girl's concerned face. It feels a bit like my reality is being filtered through an old VCR player. Everything keeps juddering. Am I really that sick? You look pretty sick, yeah, though you haven't actually been sick, thank goodness. That's a relief. It seems like your fever might be breaking now, though. You sound pretty lucid, for the most part. Maybe I should test you, though. How many fingers am I holding up? Just the one. That's right, and now? It's still just one? Good, good. I'm glad there's no problems with your vision, at least. Now, what's your favorite food? Pork cutlet, I think. And your favorite book? That's, it's a light novel series, actually, but I love Elf Forest by Tsushimi Rui. Right, and your birthday? That's October 6th, I think. Very good. And my birthday? That is, crap. I don't know the answer to this. Not that this should come as too much of a surprise. I don't even remember her. How am I supposed to know this girl's birthday when I don't even know her name? Yeah. I pondered this for a few moments, my expression contorting. The girl must see my obvious distress, because eventually she takes pity on me. Silly Ayumu. You've always been so bad with birthdays. My birthday is only a few days before yours, on October 1st. Don't forget it, alright? October 1st is her birthday. What was my birthday? October 6th? October 6th. Her birthday is October 1st. That's probably important for later. Maybe you ought to make a note of it. It might come in handy later. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, that's important. I will make a note of that. When exactly? When you want to buy me a birthday present. Duh, for being such a great girlfriend. The girl giggles. And what about my name? Don't tell me you've forgotten that too. You are... It's here that I begin to struggle. I thought I might recognize this girl the more time passed, but we've been talking for a few minutes and that still hasn't happened. I can't recall her name for the life of me. It isn't even on the tip of my tongue. The girl frowns. Well, that's no good. I thought you were on the mend, but maybe I was jumping the gun. I mean, jeez. Imagine forgetting your own girlfriend. Huh? Now, that's a surprise if ever I've heard one. You're my girlfriend. That's right, I'm Nagi. We've been together for a month already. We were talking to each other for longer than that, though, of course. We've only been going out for a little bit, but I thought you'd recall at least that much. I thought I was special to you, Aimu. Oh, great, now she's pouting at me, and it's quite effective, actually. What should I do? Oh, no. I'm gonna save. No, I'm gonna reassure her. Reassure her. You are special to me. You're plenty special, I'm sure. I just feel a little mixed up now is all. My head is killing me. Well, so long as you're sorry. It's to be expected, I guess, that you'd be a little confused since you have such a high fever. Would you like me to fetch you any ibuprofen? What about some water? Oh, no, don't go out of your way. I'm sure I'll live. Why did my unease go up from that? You'd better. If you don't, then I would... Well, let's not worry about that right now. What would you do? I think you need to sleep now, more than anything. Do you want to get some more shut-eye? Do you mind? It seemed a bit rude inviting you over and then spending the whole time asleep. Oh, think nothing of it. I came here to help you, after all. And if sleeping will help you, which I think it will, then that's what you should do. Don't worry about me. You should be thinking about yourself right now, silly. Just relax, you hear? Your super cute girlfriend is going to do her darndest to help you recover. I'm not going to leave until we've got that fever of yours under control, and that frown turned upside down. Right. Nagi's voice is high-pitched, and it hits me like a freight train. It's relentless. I'm not sure if listening to her spiel is making me feel much better. My head is still aching, though. I suppose I appreciate how determined she is to cheer me up. I still can't quite recall having a girlfriend, especially not one this devoted, but... well, whatever. I'm sick. I must be confused, like Nagi said. I shouldn't pay it too much heed. I yawned. Tears began to bead in the corners of my eyes. Obediently, my eyelids began to fall shut. I feel so tired. Yes, that's right. Get some more sleep, Amu. Sleep as much as you like. I'm not going to leave you. I'll always be here to take care of you. I promise. Thank you. I'm not sure how long I sleep for, but when I wake up, I feel distinctly groggy. Is this more pixelated than before? I feel like it is. I blink, attempting to disperse the white spots that are scaring from my vision. The back of my head is still pounding. I still feel out of it, regardless of how much I've slept, which might be why the sight of the girl sitting at my bedside shocks me so much. It takes me a few moments before I realize that I've seen her before. She was sitting next to me last time I woke up. She said her name was... Nagi? That's right. Oh wait, so maybe it is? Wait. Because I'm kind of suspicious, but maybe it is just memory because I couldn't remember her then either. Or maybe I just have bad memory for new people, I don't know. It's good to see that you're awake, Amu. You were out of it for ages. Really must be tired. Well, that's just one question I had. I was wondering how long I'd been asleep. I am pretty tired, yeah. Look at my bedside table, searching for my digital alarm clock, but I can't find it. +2 unease. Oh. Now, that's funny. I was sure I had a clock there, though I don't recall using it very much, not in the last few months at least. I didn't have any need for it. Did I throw it out? I don't remember doing that, though. I don't remember much of anything. Oh! Now you must have noticed my expression twisting because she frowns. Is something bothering you? You're not in any pain, are you? Oh, no, I'm fine. I just wanted to know what time it was, if you knew. The time? I think it's about midday. We woke up at 9, but you've been sleeping the last 3 hours. 3 hours? That's quite a lot. Yeah, you were asleep for a while. Like I said, you poor thing. You've been laid very low. You've been laid very low indeed, but don't worry. I've not been hanging around doing nothing these last 3 hours. I actually made some rice porridge for you to shore up your strength. You did? I don't see any rice porridge. I did, yeah. It's still in the kitchen. Let me warm it up for you. Nagi rises to her feet, the hem of her skirt fluttering, and then sets off. I hear the sound of distant clattering in the kitchen, or pots and pans, and then the shuffle of returning footsteps. Nagi is wearing indoor slippers, so her feet don't make very much noise. Her footsteps are cushioned. I guess she doesn't want to get my floor dirty? Not that it matters. My floor is filthy, just like the rest of my room. It should be, at least, but my surroundings look tidier than I remember. My alarm clock isn't the only thing I see that's gone missing while I've been asleep. Oh wait, so it was there before I fell asleep. Ta-da! Nurse Nagi is back on the scene. Nagi appears before me, less than 5 minutes after her departure. She's smiling brightly, and she's holding a tray. This is for you, Amu. Eat up. On the tray, which Nagi is now thrusting at me, there's a bowl of warmed-up rice porridge, from which steam is gently exiting, and a cup of herbal tea. The rice porridge is a milky white, and the tea is a translucent copper color. They both look nourishing, and they smell pretty good, too. I can't see anything wrong with this food, not at a glance at least, but... Okay, I'm gonna save, but... Okay, so do I want to go for like the route where I just listen to her? Like, I want to make her feel comfortable, because she might get upset, because she was getting upset, kind of upset before. So I don't. You know what? I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. If this porridge tastes as good as it looks, it should be delicious. Oh, okay, that should brought my unease down. Okay. Thank you, Nagi. I smile at my girlfriend, then pick up my spoon. Okay, so we're actually calling her that now. This looks great. I can't wait to dig in. It's no problem, and you don't need to thank me. I am your girlfriend after all. It should be a given that I look after you. I suppose I would, yeah. I dip my spoon into my porridge under Nagi's watchful gaze, then bring it to my lips. I blow on it. Then I put the spoon in my mouth. So, what do you think? Is it good? Let the porridge linger on my tongue for a few moments before swallowing. It slides down my throat easily, as I expected it would. It is rice porridge after all, and it's quite watery at that. Nagi must have made it like this on purpose, so it would be easier for me to eat. That was very considerate of her. I'm not sure if I can handle any food that's too solid at the moment, given how unwell I feel. If I had to describe it in one word, I'd say it's pretty homey. It reminds me a little of my mother's cooking, actually. My mother used to make me rice porridge just like this when I was young, and I was too sick to go to school. This is all rather nostalgic. Okay, so I'm feeling better. It's good, yeah. Thanks, Nagi. I'm glad to hear it. I know my cooking isn't the best, but I've been trying. I want to get better, all for your sake. Now, why don't you finish it up? You've got to get a little more food in you. Aye, aye, Captain. I'll do my best. I'd prefer nurse over captain. That latter sounds a little too nautical. Well, whatever floats your boat. I finish the rest of my porridge, then wash it down with a cup of herbal tea. The tea wasn't as hot as I was fearing, and it doesn't scald my tongue. It's quite soothing, in fact. I wonder what exactly is in that tea. Where did Nagi get it? I don't recall buying any loose leaves. I'm not a big tea drinker. Maybe she brought it over from her house? Wait, why would she have done that? Okay, no, we'll just ignore that for now. There we go. That wasn't so hard, was it? I'm very proud of you, Amu. Nagi smiles at me angelically after I finished eating, as though I've succeeded in accomplishing a truly difficult task. You'd be tempted to think, based on the way she's carrying on, I've just run a marathon, which, given how I feel right now, would be an impossibility. That porridge might have bolstered my strength, but there's no way in hell I'm ready to throw back my covers and start working out. Well, it was easy to eat your food. You're really good at cooking. Well, I don't know about that. There are better cooks out there than me, really. All I can really do is follow recipes. I'm not particularly gifted in the kitchen, but I've been working hard to make food that's worthy of you. Worthy of me, you say? Yeah, you're a great guy, so it's a pretty tall order, but I'm not going to give in. I'm not there quite yet, but I'm sure it'll improve. Nagi flashes me a peace sign, then takes my tray from my bed. I think she means to take it to the kitchen, but instead she sits it on my bedside table, then says, "This is the least I can do for you, really, given how hard you work." You need to eat a lot of healthy, nourishing food, and you need to get a lot of rest. Do you hear me, mister? Otherwise, you won't be able to finish the latest chapter of Crimson Fantasia by next Friday. Is this gonna be like... Unless I'm reading too far into it, but this seems like, what's that book called? Misery? Misery by Stephen King? I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but it reminds me of a story where it's a similar situation where he was like locked up to work on his project. Because this could be a motive for maybe her keeping me here. It could be entirely genuine. I don't know. Maybe she's just a fan of it, and she's my girlfriend. I don't know. Okay. Otherwise, you won't be able to finish the latest chapter of Crimson Fantasia by next Friday. Crimson Fantasia? Why does that name sound so familiar? I'm sure I've heard of it before, but it's hard to place it. My brain feels so fuzzy. I'd have thought Nagi's rice porridge would give me strength, but it's not having much of an effect. I still feel wretched. Yes, Crimson Fantasia. Fortunately, Nagi is with me, and she seems to know even more about me than I do, at the moment at least. I want to see what's going to happen, and I'm sure all of your other fans do too. Last chapter ended on such a cliffhanger. I absolutely have to know what's going to happen to Eris. You can't kill her off. Not now she's finally reunited with her sister. She's barely had a chance to talk to Harmonia yet. There's still so much left unspoken between the two of them. And Eris's fight scenes are the coolest in the whole story. I'd be really upset if she doesn't emerge from her scrape with the Arcanists alive. Oh, right. Nagi's just thrown a bunch of impenetrable sounding character names at me. But I think I'm beginning to see at long last what she means. Crimson Fantasia is a web novel I've been working on during the last 3 months. I borrowed a bit of inspiration from DaVinci Ryu's incredibly popular Elf Forest series, but Crimson Fantasia is much darker. Crimson Fantasia stars an average Japanese boy called Haru, who, through a series of unfortunate happenstances, winds up being reincarnated in a magical world called Grimoire. Grimoire. Okay, so I guess I must have actually written this because I actually know a lot of details. Once in Grimoire, he meets the plucky young sorceress Eris, who was raised an orphan in the slums. Eris looks your 10 a penny ragged orphan. But she's actually a direct descendant of the royal family, one half of a set of twin princesses, who were torn apart for reasons unknown. I know Crimson Fantasia sounds an awful lot like Elf Forest, based on the synopsis, but I'm just painting in broad brushstrokes. They're not actually that alike. Haru isn't as forgiving as Itsuki is, for one thing. He has quite the temper on him, something which Eris, who isn't shy or retiring, has to take him to task for. Then there's Eris herself. Unlike Elf Forest Princess Luna, who's beautiful and kind, but during battles quite useless, Eris participates in fights alongside Haru as his equal. She's proficient in wielding a large number of weapons, but she prefers to use a scythe. I know scythes are pretty derivative in and of themselves, but I think they look cool, so whatever. I think it's fine. If Nagi knows about Crimson Fantasia, I suppose she must have read it. I wonder, are you a fan of Crimson Fantasia, Nagi? Oh, hi, Moo. What sort of question is that? It was an earnest one, and my mind is still all muddled. I can tell. I'm starting to worry that you've forgotten everything. I haven't forgotten about Crimson Fantasia or its fan base. You like it as well, don't you? How can you ask that, you big dummy? I know you're trying to be modest. That's one of your most appealing traits. But you don't need to worry about that, not around me. You should know by now. I don't just like Crimson Fantasia. I love it. Oh yeah? Yes, I'm its #1 fan, and that's saying something, given it's become so popular. I was there first, however, before it became so big. I was leaving you supportive comments right from the very beginning on your blog. That's how we ended up meeting, remember? That day you emailed me, asking me out for a coffee. It was the most precious day of my life. I was so excited. I thought my heart would burst, like for real. I felt like I was meeting a celebrity. And, in a way, I guess you are. You're quite the big shot. Huh? This sounds plausible, but I have a few doubts. Is Crimson Fantasia really that successful? Oh, I don't know what would I put here? What's the positive option here? Okay, well, since she's saying it's popular, I'm just gonna assume what she's telling me is true. I'm gonna assume that she's not lying to me in like any way. So, yes, it's very popular. This could be bad. I don't want to sound mean. Like I don't want to. Like I said, modest is like one of my like best traits. So I don't. No, I'm sure. Yes, it's very popular. Okay, it actually brought my thing down. I'm at 0% unease. Okay, so no, I'm just gonna trust her. It was tough going in the beginning, certainly, but Crimson Fantasia is rather successful now. I can admit, however, that in the early days of its publication, it had barely any readers. I always told myself that I was writing for nobody's sake but my own, but it was difficult to keep my morale up during those days. My dreams of becoming a professionally published light novel author, just like Tsushimi Rui, were beginning to look depressingly unobtainable. But she was always there. She commented on every single new chapter of mine, even when I surpassed the 50 chapter barrier. Her screen name was Nagiko. I remember it well because I always looked forward to her feedback. Her comments were detailed, well considered, and earnest. She asked me a lot of questions about Crimson Fantasia's world setting, the characters' philosophies, and their developing relationships. I thought her enthusiasm was pretty cute. Well, I say she, but I never actually knew Nagiko's gender. I just assumed she was a girl based on her screen name. I can't remember sharing any private emails with Nagiko, and I certainly can't remember meeting her in public. But if the smiling girl sitting at my sickbed is anybody, it makes sense that she'd be Nagiko. Okay. I want to know, like, am I remembering these details? Like, is this is stuff that happened and I'm remembering it? Or I'm telling myself, like, by making the choices, I'm telling myself a reality and I'm making up facts to go with it. I don't... Because I don't know if I'm making this up. Maybe I think it's true because I'm just going with what she says, so I'm trying to remember details that didn't exist. I don't know. I'll just go with what I'm saying is true. Because I know that makes sense. But the smiling girl sitting at my sickbed as anybody, it makes sense that she'd be Nagiko. Nagiko? I think that's right. Did I pluck up the courage to email her after all? I mean, I can always check later, can't I? Just go on my laptop and check. If so, that's pretty impressive. Go me, I'm not as socially awkward as I thought. So, if you're Nagiko, I can feel my thoughts whirring inside my head like clockwork. Piecing this together is quite a struggle. That must mean that you really are my girlfriend, then. Yes, that's right. What else would I be, silly Ayumu? I'm your girlfriend, and I love you lots and lots. I love you so much, in fact, I'm going to do my best to nurse you back into tip-top fashion. Or my name is Nagi, and it looks like you could use it too. Now, let's see how your temperature's doing. Nagi leans in and presses her forehead against mine. Her lips are very close to my own, to such a degree I can't help but think about kissing her. Nagi peers into my eyes curiously, our faces pressed perilously close, while I, not knowing what else to do, sit there, feeling like a stone statue. I was hot already, thanks to my fever, but I feel even hotter now. My palms are starting to sweat. I feel Nagi's breath against my cheek. It's very soft, and though I know I'm being silly, it feels quantifiably different to my own humdrum, everyday breathing somehow. Something about Nagi's irrefutable femaleness is amping this interaction up to 11. Why am I shaking so much? Her forehead is like ice against mine. I might as well be pressing myself against a window pane in the winter. Doesn't blood run through Nagi's veins? She looks so perfect, I wouldn't be wholly unsurprised. She's so pretty, she might as well be made of plastic. You do feel pretty warm, yeah. I guess there's nothing else for it. You'll have to go back to bed, mister. Is that an order? It was more a request, really. I can order you around, however, if you're into that. Should Nurse Nagi tell you to lie back down on the double? You could, yeah. What if I refuse, though? Then I'll have to give you an injection. That's what naughty boys who don't listen to their nurses deserve. You don't want me to hurt you, do you? Okay, you know what? I can see why my knees went up there, because that is a little weird to say. I know Nagi's joking, but the casual way she talks about hurting me makes me flinch. It brings back memories. Oh no. Wait, what? I remember. Why? Uh-oh. I remember. But no, that was just a bad dream. I don't want to think about it. Perhaps I'd be better off sleeping after all? Hold on. Quick save. I'm going to trust her. I don't think she's going to hurt me. I don't know what the dream would have been, but I don't think she's going to hurt me. Go to sleep. All unease. Wait, what? Wait, no, why was that all? Like, no matter what it all went away? Alright then, you know best. I don't want to make you worry, so... yawn. Then lie down in bed, as obedient as a small child. I'll do what you say. It'd be rude of me not to listen to my nurse. Yes, that's right. Bad patients with black hearts disobey their nurses, but I know you're not a bad patient. You've always been very sweet. That's why I like you so much. Now, that's interesting. I smile at Nagi, though vaguely, through eyelids which are already starting to fall shut. I thought you said you were my nurse. I am your nurse. I'm nursing you after all. What else would I be? Well, there's the thing. I yawn. I hadn't realized it until I laid my head on my pillow and discovered how soft it is, but I really am tired. I thought you were also my girlfriend. I'm that too. I can be both, can't I? Isn't that a bit unprofessional of you? It is? Duh. Nurses aren't supposed to date their patients. I'm sure they have to sign some sort of waiver. You might get in trouble if news of our sordid affair comes to light. Oh, you. There's nothing sordid about me being in love with you. My feelings are very pure. You can say that to me till the cows come home, but it's your supervisor you'll have to convince, and probably a court of law, too. Would I get sent to prison for falling for you? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it depends how sick I am. Well, that's not fair. I hadn't considered that. It seems awfully cruel that the world would conspire to keep us apart. So you just need to stay here, with me, for all eternity. Wait, what? That way, nobody will know I'm flouting the law. I'll never have to lose my medical license, and I'll never have to lose you. I keep on loving you and looking after you, forever and ever. How's that sound? That Might not be such a bad deal, actually. You think so? Nagi titters. I'm glad to hear it. If that's what you want, then that's what you'll get. Your cute nurse Nagi will be on the clock 24/7, so you got nothing to worry about. What? What's that? What's music? Is that? Just go to sleep. Rest your weary head. I'll be here for you. And I'll never ever leave you. Nagi's voice is so softly hypnotic. I can't fight against it. She has me in her thrall. What? Did I make a bad? This is a bad? This is a bad ending? Is this a bad ending? Did I do something bad? My eyelids, which were already drooping, fall shut. And, in a quiet, understated sort of way, I fall into a deep, dreamless sleep. I think I can hear somebody calling out to me, albeit vaguely. Amu? But their voice is so distant, it might as well be emanating from another planet. I don't need anybody else but Nagi. I don't want anybody else but Nagi. I just want to fall asleep. And I never, ever want to wake up. I guess that's a good ending? Am I... Okay, so my theory. Okay, this is my theory. I was alone, and like I must have been like extremely unhappy, and I must have like done something, or I must have gone to an accident at some point, and I'm in a coma. Like I'm in the hospital, and I'm in a coma. Or like I'm in some kind of like paralysis, like I'm asleep in the bed. And the voices at the end are people calling to me. They're calling to try and wake me up, and I made up Nagi. I just made her up. And by choosing to fall asleep, I've chosen to stay in the coma forever and not wake up. Because I like this reality better than the one I actually had. That's why she doesn't seem real. That's my theory, at least. And actually, I'm gonna go. I'm going to load my file at the end, and I'm going to see what happens when I don't fall asleep. And I'll see how much time this is. I might have to split this into 2 parts. Load. So I only have a 5% unease. Maybe depending on how high this is, this would affect me staying awake. Because going to sleep removes all of it. So I'm gonna stay awake. No, it's alright. I've already slept a lot. I don't think I'm ready to snatch 40 winks just yet. Are you sure? You'll never be able to shake the sickness if you don't get enough rest. I'm worried about you. Plus, wait, what? I got more unease from that? Nagi's eyes bore into mine. They look very large, almost all-encompassing in a way, and I swallow. I could get lost in those eyes if I let myself. So wait, why did my unease go up? I don't want to let my self-appointed nurse down, but... No, it's fine. I appreciate your worry, but I'm a grown man. I can look after myself, more or less. You say that, but I know better. I beg your pardon? Now, that wasn't... Oh, wait, she said that mean to me. So she said, like, you say that, but I know better. Like, now that was an unexpectedly harsh tone. Does Nagi have some dirt on me or something? You heard what I said. Okay, this is, You say you can look after yourself, but who's the one who let his shower get all grotty, huh? Who's the one who left that huge box of potatoes your parents shipped you from the countryside under your bed for months and months until they started sprouting feelers? Who's the one who never cooks, and on the rare occasions he tries, he peels his fingers or gets eggshell in his omelets, huh? Okay. Oh, okay. Look at her. Oh, okay, her eyes. Who could that be, Aimu? I'm sure I have no idea. Well, shit. I didn't know Nagi's face could do that. She doesn't look very cute now in the midst of chewing me out. But maybe I deserve it? I am a disaster of a human, after all. I'm sorry, Nagi. I know I'm pretty awful at looking after myself. No, you don't say that. You don't say... And... No, you don't say... And I'm glad that I have you around to clean up after me. Really, I am. I appreciate everything you've done for me. You're too good to me. What? Really? Do you remember everything now, Amu? Not entirely, no. I can remember the way my apartment used to look, though, which was something of a squalid hellhole, and that's being rude to squalid hellholes. If Nagi's the one who painstakingly swept my floor clean of empty soda bottles, junk food wrappers, and worn clothes, then she's even better than a girlfriend. She must be some kind of goddess. I remember that you've done a lot for me, yeah. I know you're always putting me first, which is very sweet of you. You don't have to worry about me right now, though. I'm running a bit of a fever, sure, but it's not that serious. I'm not about to die. You don't need to keep me in bed around the clock. So you say, but I'm afraid if I don't keep a close eye on you, you'll start pushing yourself too hard. That's why you need to rest. I'll be fine. Simply being with you is restful enough. Nagi stammers, then blushes. I didn't think that corny line would actually work on her, so I'm pretty surprised. I know I've written much more romantic lines in the past in Crimson Fantasia, in the quieter, more serious scenes exchanged between Haru and Eris. I don't have much experience with relationships, at least until I met Nagi, so working on those scenes always took me a while. It was like pulling teeth, only it was even more excruciating, okay? I can't think of anything worse than making a clueless virgin write I wasn't expecting that. I can't think of anything worse than making a clueless virgin write romance scenes. Are you sure about that, Ayuma? I'm quite sure. I'm getting tired of staying in bed, actually. It's starting to make me feel a little bit insane. So why don't you let me help out? You took time making that rice porridge for me, so I might as well do the washing up. Wouldn't that be fair? I hate washing up and household chores in general, but it seems important that I volunteer my services to Nagi. I don't want her to think I'm a complete waste of space. Nagi, however, doesn't seem too impressed by my suggestion. She doesn't thank me. Instead, she tuts. Don't be silly. You're much, much too tired to wash the dishes. I'm tired, but I'm not that tired, and I can handle a few chores. You might be able to handle it, but that doesn't mean you should. You ought to leave everything to me. That's why I came here, dummy. I did it to look after you, so you can recuperate as much as you want. You really should be sleeping. But if you're really not tired, maybe you can sit in the kitchen with me while I do the washing up. We can talk if you want. You can tell me about the latest plot developments you have in mind for Crimson Fantasia. That'd be fun. It's not a bad idea, I guess. It should beat staying in bed all day, languishing. Are you sure you want to hear about the next chapter, though? You don't want me to spoil it, do you? You don't want me to spoil it, do you? I don't mind. You always bounce plot ideas around with me. It's nothing new. Wait, Ani's, wait, what? But she was just telling me... Do I, indeed? I can't say I recall that. Okay, that's why. I can't say I recall that. But then again, I don't recall much of anything. I shouldn't question it. Alright, well, let's do that. Yay! Well, let me get started on the dishes. Then you can come with, Agnew. I'm really pumped to see how Eris is going to get out of this one. Nagi helps me out of bed with all the consideration you might show an elderly grandparent. Her right arm snakes around my waist and her chest presses against my side. She's close enough to me that I can feel her hair on my cheek. Oh, new scene. What is this? Looks more like a bathroom than a kitchen. Oh, maybe that's the stove, and then this is a door, stove. Oh yeah, no, that's the top thing about the stove. Okay, this is the kitchen. I let Nagi lead me to the kitchen, although in actuality, I don't think I'm so very sick that I really need her help. Her thoughtfulness is appreciated, though. She's being very gentle. Nagi settles me down at the table, then turns to the sink. She turns on the tap deftly, in a way that suggests a familiarity with my kitchen, and sets to work. The water cascades against the basin of the sink in a regular manner, like rainwater down a gutter. Nagi begins to hum to herself as she washes up. It's a light, lilting sort of hum, something distinctly melodic. All the while, the pot in the sink begins to fill with water. I watch, captivated, as this water bursts its banks, then spills over the sides of the pot and into the plug hole. Nagi continues her work like this for a brief while, unimpeded, before she speaks up. So, Ayumu. Nagi glances at me from over her shoulder, still smiling. Well, what's going to happen in the next chapter of Crimson Fantasia? Inquiring minds are simply desperate to know. Eris was in a pretty tricky spot when chapter 63 left off. Things were looking kind of dicey. I can't see how she's going to fight her way out of this, not when Haru's been detained. There's no way you can kill her off, though. She's much too important. I wasn't planning to kill Eris, no. She's an essential part of the story. Without her, Haru would be totally lost. He relies on her a lot, just like she relies on him. They're pretty codependent. Well, I knew that much. Their relationship is pretty cute, really, even if Eris is too proud to say that she likes him. That's another reason why she can't die here. I won't accept it. She has to at least confess to Haru first, otherwise all that work you put into establishing their relationship would have been for nothing. Of course, I considered that too. I don't want the conclusion of Haru and Eris' romance arc to be unsatisfying. I still have a lot of... Did her eyes change? I still have a lot of plans for Eris. Her story isn't even nearly over yet. I'm glad to hear it, but how's she gonna escape then? She won't get a last-minute power-up, will she? No, I don't think. That'd be a bit too cliché. I was thinking of having Harmonia rescue her, actually. Oh, that'd be a great way to re-establish the relationship. I know Harmonia's wanted to get to know her sister better, but she's never really had the chance. She's too busy with all that princessy stuff, and anyway, Eris is so aloof. Eris has to learn to set their differences aside, though. I don't think she'll ever be happy otherwise. I agree with you there, yeah. I want to give Eris and Harmonia a chance to make up with one another properly, and having Harmonia save Eris from a life or death situation seemed the best way to go about it. Haromina? I think that's probably supposed to be Harmonia? Harmonia would probably feel obligated to act in any case, given Eris is her twin sister. She's felt guilty ever since Eris was cast out of the palace because of that silly prophecy. She's wanted to help her sister for years, but I'm having some doubts about this story beat. You are? Yeah, it seems a bit derivative, I guess. I know there's a similar scene with Astra and Cornelia in Elf Forest, and, well... Harmonia is a princess, and her parents are very overprotective. They never let her leave the castle. She was only able to sneak out before because she was disguised, but her guards captured her and brought her back. Now her parents know about her old escape route. It'd be even harder for her to get away. I'm not sure if Harmonia would be able to escape the confines of her chamber to see her sister. Adding, if she did, would she really be able to stop the Arcanist? Harmonia knows a bit of magic, but she's nowhere near as strong as Eris. In a battle, she'd probably be a hindrance. Maybe in a normal fight, she'd be standing up for her own sister, though. I think that'd give her a boost. I guess it doesn't really solve the initial problem, however, of getting her to the fight in the first place. Oh, it's fine. I'm sure you'll be able to figure something out, Aimu. You're a genius, after all. I think genius is overselling me a little bit. And I don't think it's selling you enough. You've written a lot of Crimson Fantasia, and in such a short space of time, too, and I think it's all super impressive. The characters are all so lifelike. They feel just like real people, especially Haru and Eris. They have so much depth. They have so many hopes and dreams. And the fight scenes are really cool, too. If anybody can think of a satisfying conclusion to this arc, I'm sure you can. I mean, obviously you can. You're the one who invented this whole universe. I guess. My reply, when it comes, is non-committal. I appreciate Nagi's support, but... Oh, I have a new choice. Save. Number 5. Oh, wait. So I can question if she really is the person who was commenting. Am I saying it's a bit embarrassing for her to say all that stuff about me? I'll say it's a bit embarrassing. I don't want to question her like that, because she might get upset again. I don't want that to happen. Did save, right? I did, yeah. Okay. It's a bit embarrassing. Okay, yeah, -2 on ease. It's a bit embarrassing. As much as I appreciate Nagi's kindness, I'm not used to being complimented like this. Not to my face, at least. It's making me feel decidedly flushed. I feel my cheeks turning red and my head is starting to ache again. All of a sudden, I feel disoriented. Am I alright? Ayumi? Nagi looks at me, her brow creased with concern. She's still standing by the sink, and in one hand she's holding quite a sharp, hefty knife. She must have been in the middle of cleaning it because the silvery blade of the knife is damp with water. A few clear, crystalline droplets of water roll down the shaft of the knife, then pool at the junction where the blade meets the handle. Nagi's fingers are wet, and so is the front of her blouse. I watch as round, pearl-like droplets roll off the blade, then fall through the air. It's almost hypnotic. I find myself staring at the sharp blade of Nagi's knife, and the water that's trickling down it until my head begins to ache. A dull, buzzing sound fills my skull. I feel like I'm on the brink of remembering something, but... Ayumu? Looking worried now, Nagi casts the knife into the sink, where it lands with a dull, metallic clatter and rushes over to me. She rests her hands on either side of my chair, effectively fencing me in, and leans towards me. Her damp chest inches away from my own. Ayumu, are you alright? I look at Nagi dazedly. Her face is inches away from my own. Her eyes really are huge. +3 on ease. All of a sudden, everything feels like too much. The walls of my kitchen are cramped, claustrophobic. It feels like they're closing in on me. I can't breathe. I close my eyes, squeezing them shut in an attempt to steady myself. I inhale slowly, then exhale. I can smell mold. I could smell mold and mildew. I could smell decomposing food, unwashed clothes, and the stench of dirty skin. I could smell copper, rust, and blood. My eyes are beating inside my skull in tandem with my heart. My stomach churns. I feel like I'm going to vomit. Ayumu? But the moment passes. My eyelids flicker open, and once again. Oh, sorry, there's just an extra "and" in there. Was I so unhappy with my, like, was I so unhappy with my life? I've created this alternate reality for me to live in? Is that why Nagi exists? Did I invent her? Like, is she just something I made up in my mind so I wouldn't feel so bad about myself? Because if I had decomposing food in my house, and like I could smell my own, like I'm assuming that was talking about me, like I could smell myself, I could smell my own skin, like dirty skin. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. My eyelids flicker open, and once again, my eyes meet Nagi's. They're so full of concern, practically pregnant with it, that I feel guilty for worrying her. Some boyfriend I am. I'm sorry. I just felt a little lightheaded, that's all. But I'm fine now. You don't need to worry about me. Well, of course I'm going to worry about you. I care about you. I know you want to act tough and all, but you don't need to put on a front around me. I can see right through you. You're feeling sick again, aren't you? Maybe a little. I knew it. Nagi sighs. Okay, wait, what? You got... Where's this coming from? You guys are all the same, I swear. You're also boneheaded. You like to act tough even when you're unwell until it all gets too much and you can't keep pretending. By that point, however, it's already too late. You're awful at asking for help. Now, let's get you settled again, beneath your sheets. I'll not have you overexerting yourself, not on my watch. I'm actually feeling a little better since that strange experience I had, but I doubt anything good will come from telling Nagi about this. I don't think she'll listen to me. She looks too annoyed. For such a slender girl, who isn't particularly tall, she's surprisingly stern. Alright, you know best. I wouldn't want to make my nurse worry, so I'll try to take better care of myself. See to it that you do. I can help, but there's only so much I can do. It's with this stern rebuke that Nagi helps me to my feet. She guides me back to my bedroom, her left arm wound around my waist to steady me. I let her walk to my bedside, and I let her sit me down. She pulls back my covers in one deft, smooth movement, a bit like a magician, and obediently I lie on my back. There, that's much better. You should be safe now, Aimu, so don't fret. I'm going to keep a really close eye on you. I'm going to keep a really close eye on you, see? I'm not going to let anybody hurt you, not while I'm around. Not even you. Nagi giggles to herself, then bends, her long hair cascading over her slender shoulders. It looks like she's reaching for something, but what? I watch on, my interest piqued. There isn't much else to watch in my small bedroom, which has been scoured clean, as Nagi retrieves a mysterious object from the ground. It's woolen, whatever it is, and comprised of numerous pastels, baby blues, and pale pinks. Its shape is strange and intermediate, immutable almost, and I can't quite place what it's supposed to be. In Nagi's fingers, she's holding a pair of spiked implements, which, if their ends weren't so blunt, might be good ways to torture somebody. I wonder what they could be. Hey, Nagi, what's that? Oh, this? I just thought I'd do some knitting. You know, it's one of my hobbies. Do I know that? I'm not sure, but I probably should. I hope this isn't bothering you, Aimu. Oh, no, it's fine. I don't mind. Please, feel free. That's what I like to hear. I'll do some knitting then, while you lie down. Do you want to have a nap? Not just yet. I'm not tired. Are you sure? You look a little drowsy to me, but if you're not ready to nod off just yet, I suppose I can turn the TV on. I don't know what's airing right now, but that should be more interesting than staring at the walls or watching me knit. I think watching Nagi knit is pretty interesting myself. She's awfully dexterous with her fingers. Fingers width are long and slender, almost like needles themselves. Unease? Because fingers like needles? That's why my unease went up? A shiver runs up my spine, and unnerved, I glance away from Nagi. It's not like Nagi's fingers are much different from my own, even if her skin is paler, but they don't look quite right. They remind me of a doll's. Do they have too many joints? That's ridiculous, though. Surely... Aimu, is something wrong? Oh, no, I'm fine. Let's see what's on the TV, shall we? That sounds like a plan to me. Nagi retrieves the remote from my bedside table and switches the TV on. My TV is an old, boxy set, more than a dozen years out of date, and the picture flickers quite a lot. I never really bothered watching it myself because the shaking picture made me feel seasick. I think I can endure that right now, though. I feel so sick already. I doubt this old TV will be able to make things much worse. Nagi flips through channels idly, past the news, which she deems to be too depressing, and some documentary about lions on the Serengeti, which she says is too violent, until she settles on some kids' cartoon. It seems to be a magical girl show based on the designs of the characters. The main cast is comprised of elementary school-aged girls with wide eyes and big, bright hair that reminds me of plasticine. It's fairly cute, I guess. It's inoffensive, a bit like Nagi's homemade rice porridge. I'm not really into kiddie stuff like this, but I can deal with it. Is this alright, Hamu? It's fine, I guess. It should be able to distract from my sickness, if nothing else. I wish the screen wasn't flickering so much, though. Good, let's leave this on, then. I'm pretty fond of this series, actually. You are? Yeah, who doesn't love magical girls? I was really into this stuff when I was a kid. I wanted to be a magical warrior myself one day. I wanted to save the whole world with the power of love. I even wrote that on my career survey back in first grade. I think my teacher was a bit bemused, but what did they expect? That's what all little girls want to be. So, how did that go? Were you able to make your dream come true? Well, none of my wishes on shooting stars have come true just yet. I still haven't met my own fairy, and I haven't been given a transformation item. I did figure, however, that I don't need to save the whole world. That'd be quite an undertaking. My love might be boundless, but my energy isn't. I can't be everywhere at once. Clack, 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 go Nagi's knitting needles. But I can be by your side. That's all I want, really. Then you're going to be my magical girl? Well, why not? It sounds like a worthy challenge, especially since you're so bad looking after yourself. Hey, was that really necessary? All's fair in love and war, Hamu. And anyway, you know I'm right. You were in a really bad state before you met me. I worry what might have happened to you if we'd not started dating. Clack, clack, clack. But we don't need to worry about that, because I am here. I'll always be here. That's what magical girls do. I thought you were my nurse, though. There's nothing stopping me from being a magical nurse. I guess not. No, I wonder what that would look like. Me too. I might have to sketch an idea up. You can draw? You know I can draw, silly. You know I can draw, silly. Who do you think sent you all that fan art of Eris? Good point. I can remember that, at least. That art that Nagiko sent me, her renditions of Crimson Fantasia's main characters, was very precious to me. It made quite the impression. Nobody else had ever drawn me art of my own characters, not before nor after. I was so elated when I received those drawings. I couldn't stop smiling. I was on cloud 9 for the whole day. If anybody had seen me, they probably would have thought that I looked creepy, and maybe I did. I didn't care, though. That was the first time I'd ever felt so happy. Oh. The spartan feeling floods my stomach once more. As contented, I look back at the television set. This episode looks to be an important one. The main magical girl, whose name is, of all things, Pumpkin, is facing off against what I assume is the final boss. Is this the season finale? What an episode for me to start on. Pumpkin stares up at her rival, and with narrowed eyes, she says, "I can't let this stand. I have to save. I won't let give up her dreams." The colors on the screen are a little distorted, and so is Pumpkin's voice, but I think I understand what's going on, more or less. I continue to watch the show, and Nagi continues to knit. The regular clack 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 of her needles acts as a backdrop to the action on screen. It's quite a soothing sound. It merges with the sounds of my own breathing, the irregular static of the television set. Okay, I'm starting to feel better, at least. My eyelids begin to droop. I think I must have begun, at some point, to drift off. Wait, what? But I'm swiftly snapped back into consciousness by a series of harsh electronic beeps. Is that my alarm clock I was looking for? That sounds familiar. Is that my phone? Somebody must be trying to call me. I clean forgot when I was looking for a clock earlier about my phone. Its existence has slipped my mind. I can hear my phone ringing. However, now that I can feel it vibrating against my upper thigh, I'm surprised it could have evaded my attention for so long. Why didn't I think to check it earlier? I reach in my pocket, my fingers curl about my phone, but before I can retrieve it, Nagi looks at me and says, "Ignore that." Huh? I look at Nagi, nonplussed. Did I say it? Nonplussed? What's the matter? The infernal buzzing is the matter. Don't bother with your phone, Namu. I doubt it'll be anything important. Just hand it over to me. There's a good boy. You're too sick to take any calls right now. But nothing. Okay. If you're gonna... Okay. I don't know. She shouldn't be, like, switching like that. She shouldn't be acting like that. Like, all of a sudden. Nagi's face distorts, but it lasts only an instant. She inhales. Then she says, very calmly, "I'm saying this for your own good, Namu. Don't look at me like that. I would never, ever do anything to hurt you." She sounds pretty insistent about this, but then again, so does the mystery caller, who still hasn't hung up. My phone is still buzzing in my pocket. I can feel it juddering against the fingers of my right hand, which are pressed against it. It'd be easy to take my phone out of my pocket, then answer it. But it would be equally easy to hand my phone over to Nagi, and she seems so worked up about this, for some reason which is escaping me, that I don't want to upset her. She's doing this for my sake, after all. What should I do? So I would like to answer the phone, but with the choices I've been making, I've been going with what she says. Against my better judgment, I guess, I will give Nagi my phone. I'm still curious about who's trying to call me, but I don't think I want to risk upsetting Nagi. She's been doing her best to take care of me, like she said. Ignoring her wishes now wouldn't be a very nice way to repay her. And I reason with myself, I can always call this person back later if they want to tell me something important. For the moment, however, I'd probably be better off without any external distractions. I'm too tired to deal with the world. Oh, sure thing. I fished my phone out of my pocket at long last, then handed to Nagi without complaint, without pausing to check even who bothered calling in the first place. It's not going to know the identity of Mike's mysterious caller right this instant. It can wait. I'm too tired, in any case, to worry about it too much. I'm not really in the mood to talk. Thank you, Amu. I knew you'd do the right thing. You're a very sensible boy. A giggling Nagi accepts my phone from me and then switches it off. She, like me, doesn't bother to look at who the caller is. Maybe it doesn't matter. Am I thinking about this too much? I'll look after this for you, so you don't need to think about it. Nagi pockets my phone for herself, then resumes her position in the chair at my bedside, shifting among the cushions to make herself more comfortable. Now, are you going to go back to sleep? You look a little peaky. I feel pretty peaky. I yawn. So tired. I thought you were drifting off earlier, yeah? It's a shame that somebody chose now of all times to call you. People can be so inconsiderate. Don't they know that you're sick? Well, now that you mention it. I frown. Probably not. No, I haven't spoken to anybody all day, other than you. Unless you told them for me? I did, yes. I called up your university on your behalf. I knew, and your friends. They should all know that you're down for the count. You won't get in any trouble. Right, that's a relief. I'm glad that Nagi's so sensible. If I was on my own, I probably wouldn't think to call my university to tell them about my absence. I just refuse to show up. It wouldn't be the first time I've missed out on my lectures. In fact, come to think of it, when was the last time I went to a lecture? I try to remember, but... A sharp pain pierces my skull. It feels like I've been skewered. White-hot pain flashes momentarily behind my eyelids, and everything blurs. I'm so overcome, I have to squeeze my eyelids shut. I breathe in slowly, and breathe out. I do this 10 times until the pain subsides. When I open my eyes, at long last, I see Nagi. Her face is creased with worry, and she's frowning. Oh dear, it looks like you're still very poorly. You don't need some more ibuprofen, do you? That wouldn't be too bad, actually. Alright, I'll go get some for you. And a glass of water, too. That should help you wash it down. I won't be a minute. Nagi gets to her feet, abandoning her strange, shapeless thing on the floor, and bustles off to the kitchen. I don't tell her where I keep my medicine, or where I keep my cups, but I don't suppose I need to. I'm sure she stopped by my place numerous times in the past, being my girlfriend and everything. She'll be fine on her own. Some time passes, I don't know how much, which I spend staring at the ceiling, picking out shapes in the paint. The seconds trickle by, and then... Alright, Nurse Nagi is back on the scene. Nagi approaches me, her footsteps soft and muffled like a cat's in her indoor slippers. In one hand, she's holding a glass of water, and in the other, she has a couple of white, featureless tablets. Nagi drops the tablets in my awaiting palm, and I pop them into my mouth. They taste a little chalky, but they don't have any particular flavor otherwise. They're blandly inoffensive. I wash these tablets down with a glass of water Nagi brought to me, then lied back down in bed. I feel bone tired now. There's nothing I want more than to sleep. You poor thing. Gently, very gently, Nagi presses her palm against my forehead, which feels fevered, and gives my hair a ruffle. You really have been through the wars, I mean. Don't worry though, I'm not going anywhere. You can count on me. The sweet cadences of Nagi's voice, coupled with the soothing touch of her hand, is a comfort. It soothes the residual aches inside my head, the aches that the ibuprofen couldn't quite manage to iron out. Nagi's palm is nice and cool. I guess that's because she was carrying that glass of cold water from the kitchen? It helps disperse the feverish haze that sailed about me. Her hand continues to stroke me over and over, as a mother might a small child. I feel like I've regressed. I'm becoming younger, feebler, needier. I don't want to become too dependent on her. There. But this really does feel good. With half-lidded eyes, I look up at my girlfriend, my goddess, and mumble. You promise you won't leave me? I promise. Why would I? I do love you, and I do love you, you know? All unease is gone, okay? That will never change. Nagi. I exhale. I can still feel her head against my head. My skin is flushed with sweat, and I doubt it's very pleasant to touch, but Nagi doesn't draw away from me. She said that she would stay with me. She promised. And I like to think that I can, at least, believe her. I let my eyelids fall shut, soothed by Nagi's words of undying, eternal affection. And, quickly, sleep rushes forwards to meet me, a sleep so deep, and I'm pulled under within seconds. A faint voice reaches me through the darkened abyss. Moon? Oh, please, I'm you. But it doesn't sound like Nagi's. I guess it can't be that important, then. I tune it out. I ignore everything. And I let myself sink further still, all the way to the bottom of a dark, dense swamp. Okay, so at that, I guess in this ending, we did get to hear a little bit more of the voice. Like, we actually got to hear what they were saying. I think my theory still applies, although something maybe happened where I was living. Maybe I did something to myself, like I was so... maybe I got hurt in my apartment. Something happened in my apartment, or where I was staying, and like maybe I'm there, and like my family, or maybe I do have friends. I wouldn't be at the beginning. It's like I didn't. Maybe just people like who care about me had come and they had checked on me. Maybe there's something wrong with me, and they're trying to wake me up, and I won't wake up. I'm like so absorbed into this other world because I could, for that brief moment, I could smell like either I'm remembering what I was like before, or that is what it's actually outside. Anyway, this is my first part of Girlfriend Simulator. I guess next time I'll have to make some of the negative choices. I'll probably work my way backwards. I'll probably go from the later parts to the beginning. So probably for this part, I will check my phone instead of giving it to her. I will check it, and we'll see where it goes from there. But this is Girlfriend Simulator. I will leave a link to the game in the description. I hope this was a good Valentine's Day video. And thank you for checking out my playthrough. It means a lot that you stuck around to the end. And as always, have a good one.